Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
The CEO of Airbus, Guillaume Faury, joins us now. Guillaume, thank you so much for being with us. You've told the market you'll deliver 800 planes this year. The market had coalesced around 826. The natural question is, are you being overly conservative with your guidance or pragmatically conservative?
Hello, hi. Indeed, we've guided for 2024 for around 800 deliveries, coming from a guidance last year that was 720 for 2023, and we ended up slightly higher with 735. But what is important for Airbus is to be on track with the ramp-up trajectories that we have for our different planes, our different products, and in particular when it comes to the A320 family. And with what we have indicated for 2024, that's what we do. We're on track with a ramp-up to reach the rate 75 planes per month in 2026. So that's basically what matters for us. And I consider we are roughly in the ballpark of what was expected or what was to be expected in terms of ramp-up. So I consider we're on track with our ramp-up plans.
Guillaume, there still are these supply chain snarls that the entire world is considering right now. Given you are more conservative than what estimates had said, have you started to warn airlines that deliveries will be delayed for late this year and next?
Well, we're working with our airline customers based on what we tell them and not what the expectations of the markets will be on the number of planes we would be delivering. So we keep working and discussing with our customers. There's no surprise today that is linked to the fact that we're guiding at around 800 planes because, again, that's consistent with what we had in mind and what was the basis of our discussion and contracts with our customers. However, one point is important, indeed, is the supply chain. And what we're trying to achieve in this very complex environment when it comes to suppliers is the right balance between what we see coming from the demand that is very strong and the ability of the supply chain to serve our plans. So we want to be reasonably cautious in the sense of looking at those difficulties in the supply chain, understanding the bottlenecks, and making sure we find what I call the sweet spot, which is the right balance between that strong demand and that the supplier's capabilities. So that's where we are, and I hope in 2024 we'll be able to serve like what we did last year, meaning proving that that was the right balance between the two forces.
Guillaume, the supply chain is a very contentious issue. It's been brought into light by the recent disasters. Obviously, Spirit Aero is one of your suppliers. Now, whatever deals they do or whatever deals they construct, that is their responsibility if they lose money. But you as a CEO, will you now reflect perhaps on being less aggressive, less pressured in negotiating with your supply chain? Do you hold some responsibility as the CEO for the style of negotiation that you do with the supply chain?
We're in charge. At the end, we are delivering planes, in that case, to our airline and lessor customers, and we take full responsibility for what we do, what we deliver, and that comes with the management of the supply chain. Indeed, the way you manage your own supply chain is your own responsibility, but it's a rather complex thing to do in the environment we're in, especially with what happened with the COVID shock. That was really a shock for the industry, and there's a lot that is linked to a case-by-case, one-to-one discussion. There's also a question of culture at the suppliers, so you need to manage to combine those cultures. And we try to make sure that we can ramp up, that we do it focusing on the right priorities. You know that quality and safety is the top priority for this industry and for the CEO that I am, and I will keep working in this spirit.
On Monday, you called on the Boeing mishap. You said this incident makes us very humble. Guillaume, in this circumstance, what does it mean to be humble? Are you changing some of your procedures in light of what happened with Alaska Air and Boeing?
we're constantly challenging ourselves, reviewing what we do, monitoring the results of our action plans, and that's a constant evolution. So please don't believe that there is suddenly one thing happening and we have to completely change what we do. It's on the contrary, one more ingredient, one more data point that we're looking at, that we're trying to understand what it says about that supplier or that way of doing business, and there will be a lot of learnings when more information will be made available on what has happened. So quality and safety, it's a permanent challenge. It's something that I said makes us humble because we know we're exposed to mishaps, and it's on us to find the ways to have a system that works, to have people that are on top of the issues and constantly challenging and changing what we do to move forward efficiently. That's the nature of what we do.
Let's talk about taking opportunity. United are reportedly exploring ways to get out of their agreement with Boeing on some of the 737 MAX 10s. Are you in active negotiation with them? What would it take to win United over to you? Is that a real new order possibility from them on this?
I don't comment on single negotiation with one or the other of our customers. We have a very strong product line with the.
But have you seen more active engagement from? Have you seen active engagement from your other customers? Have you seen more active engagement, real engagement, and real marketing to customers post this incident?
There are two main products in this segment. That is a very important segment for aviation. And obviously, when there are things happening and when there is an indication of more challenges coming on the one side, there are discussions with the other side.
Are you then seeing, Guillaume, more demand from those customers? Again, I know you don't want to talk about individual names, but is it a material shift?
There is a very strong demand for the A320 family. That's not new. You've seen the level of orders we had last year. It was a record year, the record year for Airbus in terms of bookings. So the very strong demand for the A320 family, and in particular the A321, was existing before this event and will continue to exist after this event. We are very happy of the strength of that product, and we keep investing in that product. We will have the entry into service of the XLR, the high-end version of this product later this year, and that's what we're doing. We're focusing on what we can do to best serve our customers.
Where's the hottest demand, Guillaume? We have the West fully evolved and post-COVID travel levels are high. But if I said to you, where's the hottest order book to come from? Where would you put the pin on the map?
Obviously, in 2023, I would mention India. We had the biggest order ever coming from Indigo with 500 planes for one contract, and Indigo is a very, very important customer of Airbus. We have a very close relationship with them. We help each other during the COVID crisis, and we want to keep moving forward with them. And on top of the Indigo order was the big order for Air India with single-aisle and wide-body planes, with a total of 750 planes in 2023 for India. I think that's the place where the growth is the fastest, and that's really significant for the industry. But we had demand a bit from everywhere, including from mature markets for replacement of planes, driven mainly by the need to reduce fuel burn and to reduce carbon emissions.
Right. Yeah, it's certainly a global conversation having. So demand is still strong there. And this goes back to some of the contracts that you have with Spirit Aero, making sure that you get those things, again, as you say, in a quality manner. Of course, you're in the middle of renegotiating some of the loss-making contracts. Guillaume, how close are you to reaching a deal? And does it mean higher prices and therefore crimped margins?
No deal is closed till it is closed. And therefore, it's always difficult to say when it's finished. What is important for us is to have this close conversation and discussion with Spirit. They are an important supplier of Airbus, even if they serve mainly Boeing. They are a big supplier of Boeing, but they contribute to our A220 and the A350 ramp-up, and that's what we are focusing on. And when we will have a set of conditions that will serve both parties in the best possible way, we'll come to to contract. So I will not comment on by when we think we're going to find a different contractual set of conditions. We have a contract, or we have contracts in place, and our friends at Spirit have to comply with the contractual obligations they have agreed to sign in the past till we find new contractual conditions.
All right, Guillaume, I hope we're the first you tell when you do reach an agreement there. Guillaume, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time. Airbus CEO Guillaume Faury.